Ever wake up looking like a huge pufferfish or feel like you've swallowed a big balloon? Well, bloating is the culprit, whether in the face or the stomach. It's not just about overeating or even a holiday indulgence. It's time to dive in deep into the science behind why certain parts of our body bloat and what's truly happening beneath the surface. So let's start with the top reasons of facial bloating. And I put the face, but basically the signs and symptoms or manifestations of facial bloating. We're talking swelling around the cheeks, swelling around the eyes, even the chin, especially prominent in the morning because your body has been laying down and all that fluid is accumulating. Now the cause here is gravity and fluid shifts during sleep, typically after meals that are high in sodium. For example, soups, things like packaged meats, or even Chinese food that is really high in sodium. Now I know it sounds weird, but dehydration is another culprit here. So the early signs of dehydration is even before bedtime, dehydration can kick in, leading to the kidneys retaining water in the tissues, which makes the body look all puffy inside the face here. So what's the impact here? Well, this causes localized swelling in the face, and chronic dehydration can actually strain overall health. Now, the third biggest culprit is electrolyte imbalances. Evidence shows that sodium retention, as mentioned before, actually draws water into the bloodstream. So remember, sodium causes swelling. Now, potassium ensures that proper fluid distribution is there. So for the solution, well, hydration and optimizing that sodium and potassium intake is critical. So always include potassium-rich foods like avocados, bananas, and even green leafy veggies into your diet. And Dr. Huberman from Stanford University always recommends adding salt to your water just to help you balance it. And always stay away from processed food. All right, now what about abdominal bloating, or basically belly bloating here? Well, the number one thing is gas and fermented carbs, something called FODMAPs. You see, the problem is that the body sometimes struggles with certain carbohydrates like these FODMAPs, leading to fermentation inside the large intestine. So FODMAPs are basically foods like wheat, beans, dairy, high fructose corn syrup foods, and sugar alcohols. So we want to make sure to stay away from those things. Now, what is the result? Well, excess hydrogen and methane gas production actually bloats the body, specifically inside the belly. So the solution here is to reduce these high FODMAP foods. Now, in terms of the evidence here, there was a study conducted in 2018 that found that 74% reduction in bloating among clients with IBS, that irritable bowel syndrome, was actually limiting FODMAPs, or that FODMAPs. Now, you don't have to eliminate altogether if you don't have a chronic condition like, let's say, IBS. You can simply take a break for a few weeks or even a few months. Now, the second thing that leads to a belly bloat is cruciferous veggies and even raffinose. Now the issue here is that the body can't digest raffinose, which leads to fermentation by gut bacteria. So what foods have cruciferous veggies and even raffinose? Well, foods like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and even Brussels sprouts. Now, I know what you're saying.
Mike, but I need to eat my veggies, right? These things actually help protect me.
Well, the solution here is to simply steam them so that you break down the cell wall. It's not really too hard on the gut. Okay, now additional causes here is constipation. As you know, constipation, right? Stool buildup inside the abdominal cavity can lead to gas accumulation. Now you can address this with hydration, fiber, and even magnesium supplements. Because as you know, magnesium mellows out the body and it mellows out the gut. Now another condition is SIBO. This is fancy words for excessive bacteria in the small intestine that can actually cause fermentation. A hydrogen breath test can actually diagnose this condition. Now other things like food intolerance, for example allergies like lactose intolerance, can actually result in indigestion and gas, and even a weird one here, swallowing air. Now, when I was researching this to make a video on it, I'm like,
swallowing air? That's kind of weird.
Well, habits such as gum chewing, drinking carbonated beverages, because you think you're being healthy, right? It's 0 calories, right? Drinking the White Claw maybe, or even, a really weird one here, eating too quickly can actually lead to belly bloat. Okay, now one of the last ones is stress. As you know, stress is horrible for the body, but stress can actually alter that gut-brain connection, leading to discomfort and bloating. not to mention increasing the cortisol, which is actually a good stress hormone that's supposed to wake you up in the morning. But with too much cortisol from stress, it actually adds a layer of fat and even bloating around the body. Okay, so now hopefully you understand where and why bloating happens, because this is pivotal to addressing it effectively. Now, while facial bloating often signals hydration issues, and abdominal bloating is frequently tied to digestion issues, simply recognizing the causes here is the first step in finding relief and presenting your best and unbloated self to the world. So thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing and turn on your bell notifications for the next videos that we're dropping this week.